The majestic Douglas fir of the Pacific Northwest. Some of these trees have been standing for hundreds of years. These giants of the forest are worth millions to the lumber industry.
Oh, that's too long to wait for money.
Do you know a quicker way?
Sure, marry a millionaire.
Rummy. Never mind the comment. Oh, you're so lucky. So kind. Mike, what happened?
Are you all right? I feel so silly, yes. I caught my heel getting into the elevator. This gentleman was kind enough to help.
Oh, what an answer to an SOS.
These are my roommates, Gwen Kirby and Loco Jones.
Hello.
This is Mr. Tony Marsh.
How do you do? Have you just moved into the building, Mr. Marsh? I haven't seen you around.
No, I was just visiting friends.
Oh, you have a family, Mr. Marsh?
No, I live with my sister. I hope when you're feeling better, Miss McCall, I can call you. May I?
Of course, if you like.
I don't think I have a pencil.
Oh! Excuse me? Here.
Thank you.
It's, Plaza.
No. This'll be easier.
Thank you. And I do hope you're feeling better. Good night.
Good night. Ooh, he's nice. Oh, do you think he'll call?
Oh, I hope so.
I can't tell you how much I enjoy being with you, Mike.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Good night.
Good night.
An engagement ring? Oh, it sure must be a big diamond in that box. He must be a multimillionaire. Loco, that is not a ring box.
It's a book. Love Sonnets from the Portuguese.
Well, I guess that's all right if you happen to be a Portuguese. Oh. Mike? I think you ought to give that Tony a book.
What kind of a book, Loco?
101 Ways to Propose.
Honey, I'd settle for just one, and it could even be in Portuguese. Oh. Just look at this picture. Isn't Tony sweet?
Especially at the age 4 months. Oh, gosh. Doesn't he have a beautiful set of teeth? Set of teeth at 4 months? Loco, put on your glasses. Oh! I was looking at the bear.
They say when a man gives a girl his baby picture, it means that she reminds him of his mother.
I've heard that, too.
You know, Tony may be a little shy about proposing, but he is sentimental.
And so romantic. Like sending you one perfect rose every morning. Oh, what a nice surprise. One perfect engagement ring would be a nicer surprise.
Tony's not the kind to rush into marriage. He's really quite old-fashioned.
Marriage is old-fashioned.
True, Loco. No family should be without it. That's Tony.
Well, how can he call so soon? He has a phone in his car. Oh, really? I've never seen his car. Is it a big limousine? Oh, it's got to be. He's got a switchboard in the back seat. Oh. I'm coming. Who is it?
Me, Jesse.
I was afraid it was a man.
Well, don't blame me. It's the cut of the uniform. You girls got trouble, Loco.
Oh, no. Everything's just fine.
Not if the house manager sees this.
Oh, aren't they cute? Oh. We interrupted them. They were kissing. I'll hide them for you, Jessie.
They're not mine, they're Mike's. They were sent over by Mr. Tony Marsh. But you know what the manager says? No pets.
Mr. Marsh isn't a pet. He's practically a fiancé.
You know, Loco, someday you're gonna look in a mirror and see nobody there.
Oh, I do that now.
Huh?
When I forget my glasses.
Oh.
Thanks, Jessie. Are you two little darlings through? Good. Mike! Surprise! Surprise! Oh, Mike, look what Tony sent you. Not on the table, here. Lovebirds. You know, this might be a sign of progress. Well, at least he's thinking in the right direction. He sent both birds in the same cage.
Tony's asked us all to tea at his house this afternoon to meet his sister Julia.
Oh, wonderful. He wants to bring the two families together. And that's the last step before the last step.
Yeah, but what if Julia doesn't like me? She's the only family Tony has.
And probably the possessive type.
That's very possible. Julia's made a home for Tony ever since he was 18. She's almost like a mother to him.
This could be a problem. But we won't let it be. You'll be so charming, she'll just have to like you. Say, Gwen and I could pretend to hate you. You know, make her defend you and get her on your side. Well, maybe I just better keep my mouth shut.
Would you, Loco?
Could you, Loco? I won't say anything. And don't worry, I'll have a good excuse. I'm sure I'll think of something.
These are two old friends of ours, Margaret Nichols and her brother George.
Hello.
How do you do? Now that you've done the honors, Julia, shall we get comfortable?
Yes, of course, dear. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Tony told me you're career girls. Working in Wall Street must be fascinating.
I just adore it.
She'd sacrifice it all for love. Oh! I almost forgot. I can't talk. You shouldn't try, dear.
Loco has laryngitis.
Yes, and it settled in my throat.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's one of the most dreadful things that can happen to a woman.
Not for Julia. She never talks too much.
And you, practically not at all.
Good old George never uses two words where none will do.
That's an admirable quality, Tony.
We've lived together for so long, I'm afraid I've spoiled George. He won't even talk for himself if I'm around to do it for him.
Don't you think we've talked enough about ourselves?
Oh, I sure do. Loco can't resist a joke.
Even when she has laryngitis. Your laryngitis seems to come and go.
Yes. But then again, don't we all?
I'll order tea.
I'm sorry it was such a long, dull story, Mike, but there we were, left alone at an early age. My sister Julia's been wonderful to me. She thought you were charming. Gwen and Loco, too.
I'm glad she liked us.
She had to. You're everything a girl should be.
Well, thank you, Tony.
There's absolutely nothing I'd change about you.
Not even her name.
If only things were different. You know, obligations tie a man down. I know it's wrong of me to even think of the word duty in connection with Julia, but...
I'm afraid I don't quite understand.
Well, Julia's kept house for me for years. She runs the place perfectly. It's her only happiness.
Doesn't she ever think about having a home of her own?
Why?
Well, her husband usually goes with it.
Oh, George will get around to asking Julia to marry him someday, I suppose.
Well, Tony, that's not fair to you.
I have to think of Judy before my own happiness.
Couldn't Julia continue to live with you even if you did get married?
Why, I'd be displacing her. She'd be miserable when another woman started running the house. But someday Julia will marry. Then I'll be free to live my own life.
Was that a proposal? It was a promissory note with no due date. It certainly was. Could you explain that again? Let me put it this way. Just when Mike thinks he's going to feather her nest, Tony turns chicken.
Oh. Please give my best to Julia.
Thanks, Mike. Good night.
Good night.
We heard everything, Mike, and don't you believe a word of it. He was just pulling the wool over your eyes.
He was? Then he's not as old-fashioned as we thought.
It's not Tony's fault. He wouldn't be in such a spot if George had just proposed to Julia.
No, but it makes things mighty convenient for him. He can't get married because of his duty to poor Julia. Ha!
Oh, I don't know, Gwen.
Look, Margaret does everything for George, and Julia does the same for Tony.
Well, I guess everybody's just too comfortable the way things are.
Then let's upset everybody.
What?
Is there a law against breaking up a brother and a sister?
Loco, I think you really got something there.
I have? Well, imagine me.
Oh, what a beautiful view.
Oh, well, isn't this beautiful? Mike made everything. She's quite a good housekeeper.
Oh, it's nothing. We hope you don't mind this being just Ladies' Day, but we thought it'd give us a chance to get better acquainted. Julia, won't you sit here?
Yes, I think it's a lovely idea.
Well, women can't be themselves when men are around.
Well, you can't blame us for being nervous. After all, men are the only opposite sex we've got.
I really don't know much about men, except George, of course. Since I was 15, he's been my one and only.
Your one and only what?
My beau, of course.
Oh, gosh. I always heard that a bow had something to do with tying the knot.
Whatever do you mean?
It's just that Loco feels so strongly about long engagements.
Oh, but you misunderstand. George and I are not engaged.
Oh, well, that's different. Not even engaged?
We did misunderstand. I'm sorry.
We have a kind of understanding, I suppose, but George is too considerate to ask me to marry him under the circumstances.
What's bugging him?
I beg your pardon? Oh, it has nothing to do with George. Oh, no, it's my situation. He knows that I couldn't leave Tony alone. He'd be lost. But someday Tony will settle down, and then George and I will be free to make our own plans.
Everybody says the same thing. Well, now I'm really confused.
Well, what Loco means, well, Tony hinted that he couldn't possibly think of marriage until you're settled in your own home.
It was no hint. He came right out and told Mike. Gwen and I heard everything. Oh, we weren't eavesdropping. We just left the door open.
Tony never told me he was considering marriage. I don't understand why he kept it to himself.
Well, maybe he was afraid you'd think he was trying to rush you out of his house.
And all this time you've been dying to be rushed out of his house and into George's arms. Oh, you poor little thing. You've had a long wait.
All because I thought I was doing my duty toward Tony.
Well, there's no use worrying about all the time you've wasted. You've got to think about what you're going to do now.
I don't know what to do.
I've got an idea.
Uh-oh.
Are you sure we didn't go too far?
Radney says this is right for your personality, and at her prices, she can't afford to make mistakes.
Blonde hair.
George will flip right out of his rocking chair. I can hardly wait to see his face.
In a way, it's like cheating. Trying to be something I'm not.
You're trying to be something you are. Believe me, Julia, you've always had the right equipment. It's just that you've been hiding it. Now that's cheating.
I guess you're right. Well, Mike, I hope our plan works. For both of us.
Oh, Julia.
Oh, it suits you, miss.
Does it? Oh, you're right. Of course, these spoil the effect, but that's okay because Julia won't be wearing glasses.
This is one of our trousseau items. The price is a bit high, but the garment's worth it.
How high?
$229.50.
Oh, think of paying over $200 for something to wear when you're undressed? Oh, but money's no object now.
Have you decided about this?
Well, it's not often I buy a trousseau. I'll take them all. I hope George likes everything.
When are you getting married?
Oh, I'm not getting married.
Is this a charge?
Yes, to the Marsh account.
Oh, Mr. Anthony Marsh?
Oh, do you know Tony?
Well, he's one of our best accounts.
Well, and all he ever buys Mike are roses and lovebirds.
I'm afraid we'll have to have some authorization to charge these things to Mr. Marsh.
Oh, not to Tony. It's his sister Julia's trousseau. Charge it to her.
You are buying Miss Marsh a trousseau?
Oh, yes. I'm sort of standing in for the bride. Of course, after the wedding, she'll be on her own.
Miss Marsh is an old customer. I hadn't heard she was engaged.
Well, she's not really yet. But when we get through with her, boy, will she be engaged.
Oh, hi, Loco. I have everything on my list. How are you doing?
Great. Well, it's been nice talking to you, but I have to be going now.
Under the circumstances, we'll have to have some personal notification from Miss Marsh. Your purchases total over $5,000.
Well, if you insist, you can call Miss Marsh. She's having her hair done at a Radney's. You know a Radney's, of course.
All of our customers are done by a Radney.
$5,000? Boy, you really let yourself go.
No, I let Julia go. Oh, buying a trousseau is such fun. I'll have to do it more often.
Good evening. Julia asked me to pick her up here.
Yes, we know, George. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Oh, George. Surprise! Surprise! Oh, I can't help it. I can't help it. Come on out, Julia.
Julia? Is that you under all that, Julia?
How do you like the new me?
Now you can see what she's really like.
I've always known. Hey, the girls really did a reconstruction job on you, didn't they?
I thought if I brightened myself up a bit, you'd be pleased.
Oh, now, do you think changing your hair was going to change my feelings for you?
It was silly of me, wasn't it?
Oh, Julia. It wasn't silly. If blonde hair pleases you, well, that's fine with me, but I don't know why you went to all that trouble.
Well, we just decided to let this cat out of the bag.
Yes, sometimes a woman realizes she hasn't been utilizing all her assets. So she decides to do something about it.
Well, I'm sure you meant well, but I see you don't understand how I feel. I thought you did, Julia. The things I value about you have nothing to do with the color of your hair or the clothes you wear.
I should have known those things don't matter between old friends.
I'm not talking as an old friend. I'm speaking as the man who's loved you for a long time.
Since she was 15? That sounds like a proposal.
Loco.
Would be a proposal if I didn't know that Tony comes first with you.
Tony doesn't have to come first anymore.
This is a proposal, and Julia says yes. Tell her, Julia.
She doesn't have to. I'll accept Loco's proxy.
Gosh, if he's been doing that since you were 15, Julia, how come you're still single?
Oh, Julia, I'm so glad. I'm so happy for you, too.
Oh, one down and one to go.
We'll tell Tony and my sister Margaret tonight.
Don't stop for anything. Get married now while you're still in the mood.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, Loco. We'll leave for Connecticut right now.
And we'll send them a wire after we're married.
Oh, Julie, dear, I hope after all these years of waiting, you won't think I'm rushing you into this.
Rushing her into this? You better step on it before her trousseau goes out of style.
Not even to let me know until after they were married.
It's so unlike Julia.
I wonder how it all happened. Oh, Cupid shot an arrow into the air, and it landed you know where.
I never thought George would actually propose.
Well, he's a slow starter, but that arrow got him started in the right direction.
Eloping. Why, it's unbelievable.
When you get over the shock, Tony, you'll be happy for Julia.
Oh, but this does present a problem for you. Just you and the servants.
All alone in that big house, no woman at your side to help you.
Well, there's the cook and the maid.
Well, that's not the kind of help I mean.
Your household needs a guiding hand, where the servants can't run things the way Julia did.
And you are used to a certain routine.
But, Tony, you should be thrilled. This is the someday you've been waiting for.
Yes, Independence Day.
Well, thanks for bothering with my problems.
Oh, we wanted to bother, didn't we, Mike?
Well, we're happy to do anything we can to help you, Tony.
Well, I know you are, but look, I think I'd better go home now. When a man has an important decision to make, he should be alone to think it out, and you've convinced me that I do have to make an important decision. Good night, girls.
Goodbye.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Tony.
Oh, Mike, this is wonderful. You're as good as married. Here comes the bride. Oh, you're
Loco, don't get carried away. Remember, it takes two to tango.
And he still hasn't asked you to dance.
Oh, he will. I can see you both now, honeymooning at Roseland.
Hello? Oh, good morning, Tony. Oh, you have?
Yes, well, he's made a decision. You're right, Mike? A proposal?
Oh, we'd love to. Yes. Of course. Goodbye. He says he has a wonderful surprise for me.
I knew it. A 10-carat engagement ring.
Don't sell Tony short. It could be 20 carats.
Oh, golly, Mike. You're going to have to carry your finger around in a wheelbarrow.
Oh, I wonder what I should wear.
Oh, a bridal gown.
No, I mean today. By the way, he says he wants to see all three of us.
All three of us? That's polygamy.
I don't care what it is. I like it.
Girls, just sit there and relax. Now, just be a moment. Excuse me.
I guess he went to get the ring. I hope he doesn't strain himself.
This is my wonderful surprise.
Margaret?
Ladies, meet my bride-to-be. Isn't she gorgeous?
Your bride-to-be?
On your feet, the bell just rang.
And I have you girls to thank for it.
Huh?
Well, I saw how you transformed Julia, so, well, I decided to try it myself.
When I came home to make my decision last night, Margaret was there. I took one look and I was overwhelmed.
George and Julia's getting married made me realize how lonely I was.
Well, you could always join a friendship club.
I want to wish you both all the happiness in the world.
Why, I hope there are no hard feelings, Mike. I've always been very fond of you, but Margaret and I have so much in common. After all, we've been playing bridge together for 15 years.
Well, I wouldn't think of breaking up your game.
We better call George and Julia, give them the good news. Excuse us.
Don't feel bad, Mike.
No, it just wasn't in the cards.
Oh, I don't feel bad. After all, I didn't lose a husband. I just lost a fourth for bridge.
What's the name of this game?
Gin again, huh? Well, I may not be a gracious winner, but I am a sore loser. 10, 20, 30, 40. Mike, what's the matter?
Are you hurt?
Oh, it's nothing. I caught my heel getting into the elevator and twisted my ankle. Oh, this gentleman was kind enough to give me a hand.
Ooh, looks like he gave you his whole arm.
These are my roommates, Gwen Kirby and Loco Jones.
How do you do?
Hello.
This is Mr. Worthington. He just moved into the building.
Let me make you comfortable. There now. Careful. There, now, how's that?
Oh, that's fine, thank you. I'm sure I'll be all right in a minute.
So you live right here in our building, huh, Mr. Worthington?
I moved in yesterday. And from the looks of things, I'm going to like it very much.
Very much.
You have a family, Mr. Worthington?
No, just my sister and myself.
Your sister?